The president down in Florida taking to Twitter this morning, touting the booming economy while slamming Democrats is doing nothing on immigration, tweeting, "Yesterday was a big day for the stock market. Jobs are coming back to America. Chrysler is coming back to the USA from Mexico, and many others will follow. Tax cut money to employees is pouring into our economy, with many more companies announcing American business is hot again." He also tweeted, "The Democrats are all talk and no action. They are doing nothing to fix DACA. Great opportunity missed. Too bad." And we are back with our talk radio panel from left to right on your television screen. Andrew, David, Tammy, and Rick. Nice to see you all. Thanks for being here.
Good to be here.
Andrew, you read this as a negotiating tactic, or is the president actually pulling a potential DACA deal off the table?
Well, the Democrats, if they were so concerned about it, could have done it in 2009 when they controlled the House, the Senate, and the White House. They since lost the House, lost the Senate, lost the White House, and lost the majority of states. So why should the president negotiate their way? Shouldn't they be negotiating the president's way, because he represents the majority?
We heard, David, though, the president was sort of willing to negotiate on both ways during that big Oval Office roundtable.
Right. And look, a negotiation is when both sides walk away and somebody's unhappy on each side. The president has said, come to the table. Andrew's right. The Democrats have had the opportunity to do this. They don't want to do it because it's a wedge issue. You continually paint the other party as this, as racist, as xenophobic. Look at what Nancy Pelosi and Chuck Schumer are doing. Look at Luis Gutierrez. Look at all the others, Julian Castro. They're leading a narrative. The president wants to lead a solution. And by the way, he gave it back to Congress. That's the constitutional responsibility. That's where it stands. And the president, frankly, he's followed the Constitution.
Newt Gingrich had an interesting soundbite about just that issue, David, that you were talking about, the identity politics. We'll roll that, get Tammy to react.
Over here is a left-wing corrupt establishment which sincerely sees this entire fight as a function of identity politics. Over here are the rest of us who are thinking, you know, a lot of these ideas are really weird. This is really a definition of life and death. We're in an identity fight in which if we win, they disappear. If they win, we disappear.
Tammy, quickly.
Look, I don't think that anybody's going to be disappearing here. Everybody feels that this is an existential issue. The fact of the matter is that this blew up on the Democrats. They thought this was going to be a bomb for this new Republican president in dealing with it. I think President Trump's handled it well. He was willing to deal with them. Jennifer Palmieri at the Center for American Progress said that they've got to be able to deal with this in order for their electoral prospects for this year to be good, and they're not dealing with it well. They need it to exist because they can't deal with the other policy issues. In the meantime, though, they're not really making any headway, and they think it's going to blow up on the Republicans. They're wrong.
All right, Rick, Democrats seem to be trying to make some political hay out of this firestorm of the president's comments. We've got Nancy Pelosi now this morning out saying you need to do a clean DACA deal, really trying to put Republicans in the corner. We also got Keith Ellison out there saying that if Democrats don't support a clean DACA bill, then he's not going to support them. Overplaying their hand here?
Well, I mean, look, I think we can all agree, sitting here, there's not going to be a clean DACA bill. I do have to say, though, I think the president missed an opportunity. The bipartisan bill that was agreed upon 2 days ago, the one that was taken to the president, the one that he indicated in the morning when he heard the terms that he was favorable to, but somebody else got to him in between, that would have been...
The reporting on that is not all that final.
Well, actually, I've talked to my sources, and they're pretty confident about it, but who knows?
Yeah, but why make a bad deal?
Let me finish. So there was an opportunity there, and he got his wall funding. There were all the things that he wanted. There were things that would resolve the DACA issue. I think it's a real shame that that was dismissed out of hand.
Well, you're talking about this bipartisan deal of a couple of senators. The senators came together. You also have to get the House involved in this, Tammy, as you know from talking to House members. That's a little hard. The wall funding here that was in this bill would have basically provided a doorknob for the wall. This was not funding for the entire wall.
He didn't ask for it. He asked for funding to get started
He asked for $18
on planning
billion.
and construction.
Yeah, look,
over 10 years.
it's funny how when we talk about the Dreamers and the fact that the CBO says that's going to cost us $26 billion over 9 years and nobody breaks into a sweat. But with the wall, it's suddenly a big issue and you can't do it. We've got the money. We'll find the money. So, you know, there's different ways you can do it, whether it's through waste, fraud, or different management. That's not going to be an issue. The framework here is the president has an opportunity to make sure that Democrats, the Democratic base knows that their leadership has been a fraud. They've never cared about that issue. To your point, they could have done it years ago. The Dreamer thing for Obama didn't have to be an executive order
Tammy,
if he knew actually how to govern.
You're setting up this enormous that there is an enormous opportunity for President Trump.
Right.
David, how does he take advantage of this moment?
First, he goes back in time, the Secure Fence Act of 2006. And when you look at it by the numbers, deal with the economic argument around illegal immigration, criminality, drugs, human trafficking. If it costs $18 billion, let's say it costs $50 billion for the wall, but you're spending $300 billion a year as a country on it. You add the security aspect. Now you've got economics and security together. Democrats are hypocrites. They voted for stronger border security. They voted for physical barriers. They're simply objecting because it's Donald Trump, and they're about to lose their wedge issue because they've attacked Republicans, and Republicans, frankly, have been squishy fish on the issue. Now you've got a president who says, you want to fight? Fine, let's have a fight. Secure Fence Act of 2006.
Well, 2006 they voted for it. 2013 Democrats voted for it. Andrew, I was up on Capitol Hill and chased down some of those senators who voted for this in 2013. Democrats who said this was so important to have border security in 2006 and then in 2013. Now they're nowhere to be found on this issue. Some Democrats say they are willing to go shut down the government over DACA. Nancy Pelosi alluded to that this is going to be the wedge issue. Is that a win or a lose for Republicans?
Have you ever seen the Democrats?
No, for Republicans.
For Republicans, it's a win. Have you ever seen the Democrats threaten to shut down the government until the VA is fixed? When was the last time American citizens got a carve-out in federal law like they want to give to the non-citizen? The Democratic Party seems to be constantly giving priority to the non-citizen. We are the people, the citizenry. Now, if we want to talk about a piece of legislative action that is passed through Congress, signed by the president, constitutional, that's great, but that's not what we're talking about here.
All right, gang. Great discussion as always. And as you guys all point out, there's a lot of opportunity for both sides here. See if any of them capitalize on it. Thanks, gang.